Okay, today we're gonna be inspecting the cylinder head. I'm gonna remove the cylinder head because this engine has like at least 2 cylinders that is quite low. We fixed the oil pressure. We don't know why and how exactly, but we removed the oil pan. We cleaned everything. We checked the balancer shaft module for wear, including the oil pump that's integrated into that balancer shaft module. We replaced the oil filter. It had a Fram filter, was a brand new filter, and we put a MAN filter into it, and we just put regular oil into it. Right now it's 1540, and so we're gonna start it. Obviously the front end is not there, so the intercooler hoses are not connected to the engine. So that's the lower intercooler hose for the left side intercooler. So it's not connected. So the engine does not like it like that. When we started the engine, also we're gonna check the oil pressure from cold, and we'll see before even cold the oil pressure would not even pass 25 pounds, and now it should be pretty good. Just the only thing, the engine does not run smooth. And as you notice, we worked on pretty much all Volkswagens. So you have a GTI here, another GTI there, a 06 Jetta, a Beetle, and we have a Cat too. So all right, so we'll start it up. Okay, yeah, it doesn't like the coal, I guess. Try it again. Okay, anyway, it went up to at least more than 50 pounds just by cranking it. I'm gonna plug the mass airflow back in just to see if it's gonna help. Try it again. Pèse le gaz un tout petit peu. That's okay. Anyway, all right, so anyway, we see that we just had cranking, the oil pressure went between 50 and 75 pounds. So anyway, the oil pressure seems to be okay. It's just, you know, it's quite cold, and you know, the pipes are not connected on the engine. Even hot, the engine does not like that. So anyway, so we'll be pulling it inside the garage, and we'll remove the cylinder head, and we'll see. Yeah, I probably suspect that it has some bent valve, so we'll look at it. Okay, so I have the turbocharger removed from the engine, and also it's a good chance to in the repair manual they mentioned to remove the catalytic converter, but in this case it's much easier to remove the turbocharger, so it's less weight, less, you know, problem when you put the head back on. And also it's a good time to check inside the catalytic converter to make sure the catalytic converter is okay, it's not melted or, you know, full of oil, because I know this engine was consuming supposedly a lot of oil. And so this is the turbocharger. They put a new turbocharger on it, but it hasn't run much, maybe less than 200 kilometers on it. So anyway, I have the engine on top dead center on cylinder number 4. So it means I have compression on number 4. So I've screwed my little pressure tester here. So I turn the engine until I have compression on number 4. And as you notice, I have the timing mark on OT on the camshaft, and also OT here on the crankshaft damper pulley. So it's set up properly, and I have the locking tool installed. These little lobe here, okay, so there's, I guess there's, you know, a lot of them, so but these little pegs, they fit between these lobes, and the tool has to fit, you know, without forcing, so you know that the camshaft are adjusted properly. So I have the locking tool installed. So next step, I'll be removing the intake manifold off of it, and then we'll see, you know, next step on the cylinder head removal on this 2007 A4 Quattro. All right, thanks. Okay, right here I have everything removed pretty much. I've got the, like I said, turbochargers removed and the intake manifold. So the intake manifold is removed. All the piping, the camshaft pulley, and I have all the bolts for the cylinder head untorqued, so they're all loose. And I removed the ground on the back of the head, and also the temperature sensor on the back, and also a quick connector for the heater core hose on the back there. So that's off, and that's about it, I think. And the head should be free to be removed. So I'm gonna remove the head on that. Okay, so this is another update. Like I said, I have already the cylinder head removed. What I've noticed here on between cylinder number 1 and 2, I can see that between the cylinder, I can see a different color between the cylinder walls. If you look at the second one here, it's it's normal color, and this one is a little bit darker, but it's normal. You can see that the head gasket was sealing properly. But anyway, here you can see a discoloration. Okay, and what I've done, well, I checked the head gasket, and lo and behold, see there's a hole in between the cylinder number 1 and 2. So this is why these two cylinders didn't have a very high compression. So the pressure would go from one cylinder to the other. And I cleaned the head, and also I put some water. Right now I have the water in the exhaust port. And when you put water in the exhaust port, there's at least 2 of them on cylinder number 2 that seems to be leaking. See if I put water into it right now. See? I think that it's not bent. I think it's got burnt valve. It's probably, maybe it was misfiring or something. But from the look of it, this valve seems to be burnt. Especially that one. And the intake valve here was leaking too. So I'm probably going to replace all 4 valves in that cylinder, and maybe the cylinder number 1, number 2, just to be safe. These 2 seem to be okay, but anyway, I'm gonna have a look at it, make sure it's okay. But if I put some water into the port of the exhaust on number 1, it seems to be okay, nothing is leaking. And the other one, they hold water. See, they're just full. But this one, water just drips out of the hole. This one is really bad. But same thing with the intake valve. Pretty much all of them are okay, but it was leaking on the intake valve right here. So anyway, this gives you an idea. I guess I'm going to take the head apart, because right now it's all cleaned up, all pressure washed, and I'm going to make sure, and you can tell here where the head gasket blown right here. So we're going to make sure that the cylinder head is okay. We're probably going to have it machine resurface, because if it's bent, then head gasket's gonna blow back again. So anyway, so we're gonna try that. Okay, so I have the cylinder head removed, and again, everything is washed up and everything. What I found, right now I'm gonna replace, I guess, all of the valve just to be sure. But on cylinder number 2, I think the valve on this side, cylinder number 2, I found a burnt valve. I don't know if you can see this. Just a sec there. Okay, get some light. Okay. See? So it's burnt on 2 areas. So on this cylinder, the number 2, and this particular valve. So what I did here, I put a new valve, I lapped it with some compound, and it turned out very nice. And this cylinder I did it too. As you can see the margin, and see the seat is very nice. It's all lapped up. So I'm gonna put some, so these are not lapped yet. And also there was this valve leaking on the, this is why I put some yellow thing just to identify it. But I guess just to be safe, since I don't think any valve was bent, it was just, especially the exhaust valve, but for whatever reason, the this one was leaking. So I don't know, maybe if it got hit or what. But anyway, just to be safe, I'm gonna replace all 16 valve. I'm gonna replace also the valve stem seals. Just gonna go put new seals in it. Okay, so I'm gonna do this, and I guess put it back together. I put a straight edge, and it seems that the head is a little bit low here or high here. It's hard to say, but anyway, where the head gasket blew, you can see here there's a different discoloration. So this is where the head gasket blew. So the head is probably warped a bit. So I'm gonna have it remachined. So make sure the deck is flat, and so I'm gonna clean the block, make sure the block is okay. Put a straight edge on the block too. Just make sure that because it was here where the head gasket was blowing. And so anyway, we'll go from there, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. So there was two major issues. There was the head gasket failure here, and one burnt valve here, and this one was leaking. So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to replace all the exhaust and all the intake valve. I was going to change, see, I have all the roller lifters. All the roller lifters, they're all in good shape. They turn very good. There's nothing seems to be damaged. So I'm going to reuse all the lifters. I was going to put new ones, but since this cylinder head did not suffer like a valve to piston failure, so that's I'm just gonna reinstall them, but I'm gonna put the money in the valve mostly and reassemble it. One thing there that's kind of nice on these 2-liter engines that I've never noticed before, right now the water flange is removed, but before the rubber seal would seal against the head like this, and it would have the tendency to leak. But the new flange, there's an O-ring, but the O-ring sits in here. Okay, so it has much less chance of getting a leak. Obviously, I'm gonna either replace the flange. I have a brand new one, so I have a bunch of new parts here, some tensioner and valve cover, and so I have a brand new flange and that O-ring. So, but I might just only put the O-ring. I think the flange is in good shape. But anyway, so I'll be installing that, and just want to make sure that all the intake ports are clean. Looks like they're okay, because I pressure washed it, and it was already clean with the previous the owner cleaned them before mechanically. But since I'm going to be putting new valves, then obviously the valve's going to be clean. So that's what I'm going to do.